Hi, guys. How are you today? Uh, Time to talk housewives. So, today we're going to talk about Mary Cosby saying the real reason she hasn't spoken to her mother in 25 years. It's a long time, people, a long time. Then we're going to talk about people are complaining about Northwest. They're saying that she shouldn't be on TikTok. And then we're going to talk about Tristan's side. Oh, I'm not going to call her that. Tristan's baby mama, Marilee, coming forward and finally breaking her silence. Then we're going to talk about how we think that the whole Swiss Beats Lala alleged affair is true. And not only is it true, Alicia Keys knows about it. So let me go ahead, play the intro, allow more people into the room, and then we'll get right into it. Hi, guys. How are you? Everybody, we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Remember, I'm going to start a countdown. I love, love, love Christmas. I can't wait. We're getting close. But today, that doesn't stop the show, people. It does not stop the show. We still got to talk about the hot topics. So let's start out with the one that's really trending today. I don't know why it's trending. I'm over the Kardashians. I mean, I really am, but they won't stay out the media. They just won't do it. So let's start with this whole Northwest story. I don't know how I feel about it. People are saying that Northwest should not be on TikTok. Okay, she's a cute little girl. She really is. I think Kim has really cute kids, especially Shy. But she's on TikTok. Today, she's showing people her wardrobe, all of her designer bags, her designer shoes. Like, how old are we again? 8? And you have a ton of closet full of stuff. Uh, Last week, she showed us the house. Do you guys remember that? She showed us a picture of the house. Then she live streamed her father's concert. It's crazy. Like, you're live streaming what people are paying hundreds of dollars for. Those Kanye West tickets are expensive, and you're live streaming it for free. So people are saying she should be on TikTok. Then we have Courtney's son, what's his name, Mason, writing Kim a letter. Remember that a couple days ago, saying that he doesn't think she should be on TikTok, and he felt bad that she showed the world her house because Kim has already been robbed in Paris. We don't want them breaking into her house. I mean, I don't want to say anything because she's a child. She's 8 years old. And people are saying that she has the personality of her mom's and she's kind of a bit of a handful. I don't know, people. We're going to have to talk about this one. I mean, you're streaming the house, okay? And she's just having fun. She doesn't know what she's doing, but she shouldn't be on TikTok by herself, especially because, in my opinion, of who she is. This is not a little regular TikToker. This is a West, and her mom is Kim Kardashian, and it's just could be a security risk alone. And then you're streaming your dad's concerts. I don't know. We'll talk about it. She's still a child. We'll proceed with caution. But fans are showing backlash saying she shouldn't be on TikTok. Okay, now let's move on to more Kardashian news. Oh gosh, Tristan. I'm so over Tristan. It's not even funny. Baby mama Marilee is coming out today. She says defending her character because Tristan is trying to paint her out to be someone that she isn't. Okay. She's saying, and not only is she doing that, he's a liar. She's coming out the day after he got his Texas paternity case dropped. And he filed it in Texas because he didn't want to pay that much child support. don't feel bad for her. You picked him. He had a reputation for being a woman's man. Now, what are we supposed to feel sorry for you? Well, she thinks so. So she's coming out, she says, defending her own name. She says when she started talking to Tristan, he told her he was single and co-parenting with Chloe. And she said if he wouldn't have said that, she would have never dated him. She doesn't go after men that have other women. She doesn't do that. Now, what did I just say earlier? They're all over the news every day. You mean to tell me you had no idea about Chloe? Really? Come on, Marilee. We can't go for that. She says that and another thing, she said she never spoke to the media, not once. She didn't talk about their litigation or anything else because he's saying she's leaking information to the press. Well, if you're not talking to the media, who got those text messages in which he tried to give you $75,000 for the abortion and silence? Okay. If it wasn't you, someone must have broken into your phone. I'm just saying. She said she also denied having any casual arrangements with him because Tristan said that he would call her just so they could talk about hooking up. And it's all on, he would contact her through TikTok under an alias. She said, no, that's not true at all. That they talk to each other every day on the phone. They would see each other several times a month. And that he's just a liar and trying to make her character look bad. Because he's saying she moved from Texas to California for the money. That's what he's saying. Listen, you put yourself in that situation, Tristan. No one feels sorry for you. Allegedly now he has broken up with Chloe and they're just co-parenting. I don't believe that. Chloe, you just can't get rid of that man. Listen, it's not my life, Chloe. If you don't mind, babies out of wedlock and constant hookups, then it's okay. Tristan had to come out yesterday and admit that she wasn't a one-night stand, that he has been seeing her for a couple months. He said a couple months. She said 5 months. Look, that's what happened. We'll talk about it later. It is what it is. I can't feel sorry for anybody in this situation. I really can't. Let's move on to the next story. Let's talk about Alicia Keys. Oh, God. I love Alicia Keys, by the way. Her voice. I love her voice. I like Swiss Beats. Swiss Beats and DMX, they were match made in heaven. Swiss Beats is amazingly talented. And so is Alicia. She really is. But it's no secret that she stole him from Mashonda. He was a married man. And remember, we did this yesterday. He came out and his response was cut it out because there was a radio personality who came out and said someone in his camp told her that he was seeing Lala Anthony, Carmelo's ex. And he said, cut it out. They're claiming that the affair is not true. And then he gave proof. Go look on Swiss Beast Instagram. She likes every post first, and he even told her to stop liking it first before Alicia got suspicious. Okay, fine. So then let me bring up Diva because she brought this story to my attention. Hold on. Girl. Let me pull up the lyrics. You think Alicia is a damn lie, okay?
I think she knew.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think she knew because for her new album called Keys, and I think there's an original version, there's an unlocked version. She has a song called Lala. Like, who does that? Like, that's just a coincidence. And then in addition to that, she has this song, I think it's called It Is Insane. Yeah, it is insane.
I'll read the lyric.
Yeah, you got it. Read the lyric. Go ahead.
Okay, because I highlighted the parts that that makes us think Alicia Keys is a damn lie, in our opinion. She knows about this affair. Okay, and it's true. She says, I was the one who called them fools. Why would she call people fools? For telling her don't get with Swiss Beats, okay? For being blinded by love. Now it's me who can't break free. Now it's her time for karma. She's getting done to her what she did to Mashonda.
Yeah.
Even though you're with her, I still feel you in me. I know when you kiss her, you're wishing it was me. And she's got a song called La La on the album. It goes on, hold on. Wishing it was me. Thought you'd be my queen, I be your king. It would be complete with a wedding ring. She's talking about, I married you and your ass still cheating on me. Now I cry like I'm your window without you. I can't sustain. This is my soul's last refrain, and you're the one that I blame. It goes on. She could have you now. I just want to fade away. Sacrifice my life to relieve this pain. So much pain.
Lord,
Listen.
take away the pain. It is insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Alicia Keys knows she's talking about this affair with Lala Anthony.
Has to be. And you have a song called La La. And today, Swiss Beats says another reply. He said the only La La I'm checking for is the La La that the song that my wife wrote. He said go get the latest downstream or stream her latest album, Keys, whatever. Swiss Beats. I think he made it worse by telling us, that there's a song named La La. I would have never looked at. I was like, a song called La La?
We all know Alicia Keys writes about things that happens in her life. She's admitted it so many times.
Yeah.
When she was cheating with Mashonda's man, she had that song, I Can't Live Without You, something like this about how it hurts to be away from you and how we got to make this thing work. Alicia Keys is scandalous. But let me tell you why I think she's in trouble now. I hate to say this. I wish I didn't feel this way, but I do. Alicia Keys, Lala's more his type. We all heard the rumors. I hate to say this. I hate to say the rumors. We all heard the rumors before she got with Swiss Beats. We never seen her with anyone else because the rumors was she was gay and she was gay with her friend. Remember? Have you heard these rumors?
Oh, I do remember those rumors.
She's gay, and Lala's feminine. She's more ladylike. I feel that sometimes Alicia Keys, as the relationship got older, start, sliding back into her butch ways. Because I was trying to look for a picture to put on the cover. No makeup, hair in braids, pulled back like the old days.
She did a Beyonce. Remember when Beyonce wrote, because when Jay-Z was allegedly cheating and she wrote the song Becky with the Good Hair. So Beyonce didn't tell us who the chick was, but Alicia Keys is telling us straight up, you named the song La La. Come on, Alicia.
Y'all are messy in the comment section. Y'all are messy. But those rumors were out there that she was a lesbian.
I do remember that. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and she forgot when she met Swiss Beats, she forgot she was lesbian. Went and took somebody else's man, had 2 kids by him, and now she's going through what she put somebody else through. And I can't say I feel sorry for her. I still like your music, even though you haven't had a hit in a couple years. Long time. I'm messy.
We still like it. We still like her. But this song, and y'all need to go look up the lyrics. It's telling us all. Okay, it's telling it all. Yeah. Thought you be my king, I be your queen. Okay. She can have you now.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm in so much pain. Come on now.
It's a mess. This is going to keep going on. This rumor is not going away because I feel it's true. And it's going to just drip out slowly, just like the Alicia Keys affair with Swiss Beats. Because when she started dating him, when she started having an affair with him, he got another woman pregnant in between that.
I forgot all about that. I didn't remember that. Yeah.
He's just a womanizer. It is what it is. You husband him up. You made him. You try to make him legit. You made him rich. Remember, he was in debt when he married her.
He sure was. He sure was. Yeah, he turned that thing around.
Put a suit on him and thought we can make him what she wants him to be, and you can't. Well, you can't put. I'm not calling Swiss Beats a pig, but you can't put pig on a lipstick. What is that saying?
Lipstick on a pig.
Yeah. Girl, you can't do it. Let's go on to our third story here. Mary Cosby. I mean, I like Mary because I'm a blogger. She gives me stories every day. Because she gives me stories all day. But she is in the press today saying that she hasn't spoke to her mother in 25 years, and it's refreshing. She said it's like a breath of fresh air. She said she hasn't spoken to the mom because the mom is really controlling.
Like her.
That's what she said. She said she's controlling and she wants everything done her way. She said she probably would be trying to parent her son. And she's upset because the mother probably wouldn't support her relationship with her
step granddaddy.
You think? I heard different. I heard that this is a lie, that Mary is not talking to her mother because of the whole plot with granddad to cut everybody out of the will. And that relationship, when it was going on and the grandmother was alive, disrupted the family. Now, I tried to bring Uncle Ernie on to answer questions and tell what really happened and what's going on. And he has a different story, but he's not here. He said he's having a hard time signing in. And he's going to take questions from the audience if he can get in. He said that Mary spoke to her mother a couple weeks ago, right? Mary's just a selfish person and money is her priority. That's why she's with the grandfather. That's why she's not speaking to the family. She tried to cut everybody out of the will, and she's trying to play wholesome. And what a hell of a thing, huh? No, he's not backstage. Okay. Sorry, he's trying to come in. He just describes a whole different person in a whole different situation. So when we can get him on, I want him to tell why they're really not speaking, why they're talking now, and just, I don't want to say the word, how divided this family is. It's kind of sad to say the least. Perry, I'm bringing you up.
While you're bringing Perry up, I'll jump back to Little Northwest for a minute. She's their wild card, okay? And she got a personality like her daddy, okay? Just a loose cannon. I mean, she's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl.
Diva.
So why is she on TikTok wilding out at 8 years old?
She's on TikTok wilding out.
You just show, and I think, all jokes aside, she probably doesn't realize this, but it's dangerous showing her closet. Like, this is her norm. That's her norm. I don't think she realized that is not the norm for the rest of the world. And people are looking at that closet and looking at that house like, oh my God. And they already seriously had a lot of serious robberies. Because where they located? They're in LA, right? It's not a good thing at all. And that closet was insane, out of control for an 8-year-old.
I got my first purse. I think I was 7 or something. It was like a plastic little yellow. It wasn't a designer bag. Now, but that's not her fault. Listen, are you gonna be a little spoiled when your dad is Kanye West?
Oh, absolutely. That piece I don't mind, but I think she doesn't realize that she is that privileged. And that's not the normal average closet for an 8-year-old. And you shouldn't be showing it on TikTok.
Hold on, Diva. Is he trying to get in, Perry? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Yeah, he was trying to get in. So, I mean, and he had said he popped up for a second, but he's trying to come from his phone. So he can't talk to me. Then when he talked to me on the phone, then it go black. But I was telling him to try it. That's why I asked you, did you see him backstage?
Okay, I'll drop you. You guys try to get in because Uncle Ernie, I'm calling this Uncle Ernie's Corner, needs to take questions from the audience about Mary.
But your first purse was like a lunchbox, wasn't it? Okay. All right.
The shade is real. Andrea, is North bad?
You know what? Not only North have the data like Kanye, her mama too. You know, this is not the first time that these people have been robbed. She was robbed in France, and you remember
Yeah.
when they was taping the show at the home, somebody stole some of the jewelry. You remember that?
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
Yeah, that's dangerous, North. It's
North needs to sit her
dangerous.
little butt down.
And she's not listening. Her mom told her to
Uh-uh.
stay off TikTok earlier when she gave us a tour of the house. It's all white. It's a pretty house. Did you guys see that?
It's
You're
beautiful.
beautiful. I mean,
But
the
you know,
robbers are going to have a field day if they ever
but
get
you
in
know,
there.
Kendall did the same thing, y'all. Kendall did the same thing. She showed her daughter's bedroom closet
Who
with all
did?
the little purses. Yeah, she did. She did
Who
the
did?
same thing. Kendall, I'm not Kendall. Carly.
Kylie.
Yeah, she did the same thing with her daughter. She showed all the fancy little designer purses that her daughter have. She did that too with her closet. Showed everything, cashmere sweaters and all that, the shoes and stuff. She had every kind of designer shoe it was in the world.
It's dangerous. It's really
Yeah.
dangerous. But you know, they're saying this is really crazy. They're saying that Little North, here she is, child. This is so dangerous. Look at all the stuff. Look at all the stuff she's got. This is
She's so cute. She's
She
cute,
is
but
cute.
come on,
Look at all
that.
that. Look at all those shoes and purses. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure they're designer bags. This is not good. We need to get North off TikTok immediately.
And she wearing a shoe like that at 8 years old? Come on, y'all.
So,
You need
and
to
they're
stay in a
sa-
child's place. You're still a child.
She
yeah.
growing too
doesn't
fast.
know though if mommy is buying it for her and letting her have it. My only issue is it shouldn't be on TikTok.
It should be
Yeah.
on TikTok.
And if your little cousin is writing your mom a letter, that tells you a whole lot that's going on in your family. Your little cousin is writing your mom a letter saying get her off of TikTok because he don't want them to be harmed either. Like they could end up coming for the whole everybody.
I
Yeah.
also thought this was interesting. They're saying that North acts like Kim and Kim acts like her grandmother, Mary Jo. This is Mary
Hard-headed.
Jo. Wasn't she really pretty?
Very pretty.
Hard-headed.
But she was married to her husband 2 months. For 2
Mhm.
months. No, she was. I'm saying all the women in the family have a tendency to act alike, and no one's been married long term for like a long time, like years. Nobody, because Chris was married to Bruce the longest, but it still ended up in a divorce.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Mm-mm-mm.
And Tristan, I am so tired of hearing about him and that girl she's talking. Why didn't you take the pill? Why didn't you tell Tristan to cover up? Why you didn't do all of that?
Oh, you're saying that she set him up?
No,
I think
no.
she did.
In a
Well,
way,
he
no.
participated by not using any protection.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You know, if you didn't use any kind of protection, you know what was going to happen. Come on.
Right. The problem I have with her is saying that she didn't know that Chloe and him was really still a couple. Like, come on, girl, don't do that. First of all, Chloe just recently and Tristan, remember it was that other woman that they both were fighting and Chloe got him the lawyer and she was going to sue the girl too
Yeah.
because they was doing defamation of character. So all of
Exactly.
that was in the public. So you trying to say you didn't know they was together, girl, stop it and go sit down. Like, I'm not having that. You knew they was together. And Tristan, what he's saying is, but I don't know why he's saying this because it doesn't matter. If the baby's yours, the baby's yours, right?
Yeah.
But he's claiming in the court documents that now he's fessing up to the relationship. He said it was from December of 2020 to, well, he's not calling it a relationship. He's saying it was from December of 2020 to March of 2021. And he pretty much called it a booty call. Right, I would just call her and tell her, you know, when we gonna meet up and do whatever. And she came to my house, he said twice. And the last time he said he knows for a fact, because it was his birthday, March 13th, 2021, and that's when the baby was conceived. Well, I don't know what's wrong with why we need the backstory that she was a booty call. Tristan, it doesn't matter. If the baby's yours, the baby's yours. Like, you telling us that it wasn't no real relationship is not going to change the fact of you having to be responsible for the baby. So he is trying to tear down her character, but in my mind, it doesn't matter. The baby's yours.
Why is he trying to tear down her character? Because he mad? What's wrong with him?
He mad because they got caught. He mad because a baby is involved. He's mad because he's got caught, and he's mad that everybody know him for what he's worth. A hoe.
Yeah, that's
He's
you
a
said
hoe.
it. Yeah, you said it.
He is a hoe. You know, he remind me of Lamar Odom. When Lamar Odom was out there chasing all these whores, she got 2 whole men in her life.
He
I
said it.
mean, it's a mess. It's a mess. Tristan,
And
no
you
one
know
feels
what?
sorry for you.
And she gonna take him back. Y'all, she gonna take him back.
Chloe?
Chloe's gonna take him back.
Oh, hold on. Let me read this. It's all cute until the kids film you sitting on the toilet or in the shower. North got to cut it out. She's got to cut it out. I mean, maybe
Well, why
she's.
don't they take her gadgets, right? She's using her phone,
Yeah.
whatever. Shut it down. Shut it down.
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that because you know what? She's
Come on,
learning from
go back to your
example.
office.
She's
Oh,
learning from
oh, yeah.
example. Every time when you see her mama, what she got? A foam in her face. She's learning from example.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, posting a picture and doing a video showing your stuff is like 2 different things. If North was posting pictures maybe of her outfit of the day or something like that, all right. But this chick is doing TikTok videos where people are seeing actual footage
Yeah.
of their real home.
yeah.
That is not good.
And you know how those criminals think. Okay, what happened, Perry? What'd he say?
Well, he's still trying to log in. I was asking, do you see him backstage? You don't see him?
No.
Okay.
What's the problem? What's he having?
He just can't get in. I mean, we just been going back and forth.
Tell him I can put the link in the chat.
Okay. Okay.
But you know what? Kim used to do that too. Show her closet. Y'all remember?
She did?
Yes, she
Oh
did.
my God. You know what,
Yes, she
Andrea?
did.
You are right. You are so
So
right.
that's why I said she learned from example. She see what mommy and daddy doing.
It's
She's
crazy.
8 though. How old was
I
Kim?
know that. I know that. But nobody have set her down and said, what you doing is wrong. This is not proper behavior. If nobody sit you down and tell you what's right and what's wrong, how are you gonna know right and wrong?
I
How
think
you
her
gonna
little
know?
cousin tried to tell her.
I wish she was my child. I could tell her.
We're trying to get Uncle Ernie in here so he could call in and answer these questions about Mary.
And Alicia Keys.
Mm.
Alicia Keys. And then you can drop me. Alicia Keys, karma is a bitch.
Ooh.
You getting what you did to somebody else. And what you did to somebody else's household was wrong.
Yeah.
And you did not have any feelings or remorse or anything like that. You're getting back. Like the old folks said, what comes around goes around.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Here, Perry.
And see if you can
Backstage
get
is
today's
filling
video.
up. So he's got to,
Okay.
I'm going to try to empty it.
I
Okay.
got it on TV. I can see you guys on TV. Right?
Uh-huh. Oh.
I'm here.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
he
no.
I can see
Okay.
you on TV right
Okay, everyone stop calling in for a minute. We're trying to get Uncle Ernie in the building because we want to hear his side of the story. Because I told him, well, this is what they're reporting today, Uncle Ernie. Is this true? He said, Mary, a damn lie. I gotta hear what Uncle Ernie is saying.
I bet he did.
In the meantime, let's go on with the show. Let me take a couple more callers so we get him in. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Corey.
Corey.
Yeah.
You're on mute.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
hey.
sorry,
Hey.
I was eating.
Isn't Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys lying?
Yeah, they both lying. But you know what? Not only was that the rumor about Alicia Keys, it was the rumor about Lala back in the day too.
What are you talking about?
Back in her MTV days, it was a rumor about her being gay too.
Has anybody heard Lala's bi?
Back in the 90s, it was that's what it was like. That's what they said.
Wow. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
And what's tripping me out is I cannot believe she's gonna lay down and do this after she's already paying child support for his kid in London, allegedly.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I heard no, yeah, that's true. I heard that too. Yeah.
I
yeah.
heard the thing about it is when he left Mashonda, he left her with no money.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're
They
right.
yeah.
had no properties
Yeah.
because he
You're right.
owed the IRS all that money. They seized all of his property.
That's
Mhm.
So
right.
now
Yeah.
they living in this house in La Jolla.
They moved to
That-
California?
Yeah, they live in La Jolla now.
I'm from there.
They bought the
Really?
Razor House. They bought the Razor House. Remember the Razor House?
Oh my God.
Well, Alicia Keys bought the Razor
Well,
House.
Alicia Keys bought it. Swift is just living there.
Yeah.
How long have they been in California? Do you know?
They've been in the Razor House since before C19. I want to say like 2018.
Mm.
They bought it in 2018 because what happened was the Razor. I follow high value, high ticket real estate. That's my hobby. So the Razor House had been on the market for over about 8 or 9 years. Someone bought it, then they put it back on the market.
Let me find this house. Go ahead.
They call it the inspiration for Tony Stark's house in Iron Man.
Mm.
And it's the bomb. The house is the bomb. But
Oh
he
my
ain't
God.
paying the
That's
mortgage.
a house?
Yeah.
Let me put
He
this
ain't
on the
paying the
screen.
house.
So Swiss Beast is stupid. What is wrong with him?
Horny, horny, horny.
Yep.
So I'm from California. Del Mar is a very exclusive area in San Diego.
sure is.
These houses are on the water. Let me put this.
They call it Baby Beverly Hills, is what they call it.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
nicer than Beverly Hills.
Wow.
It is.
This is a
That's
house.
the Razor House. Yes, that's the Razor House.
Ooh.
It's gorgeous.
Swiss Beats is dumb. He lives in this house. He's still having affairs on Alicia Keys.
Yep.
She done took him out of. Look at Andrea's mouth. Isn't this house beautiful? That's a house.
But you know what? She get what
Insane.
she deserved, though.
That's right. What goes
She
around,
did
come
it.
around.
I have not
I would
listened-
never cheat on her. I mean, I have to stay in that house. I just do. I can't do it.
He
But
not
no one
putting
feels
him
sorry
out.
for her.
She's not gonna put him out, and she's not gonna
He not
leave it.
putting him out.
Yeah, exactly. I
You don't
agree.
think
I
so?
agree. No.
No.
And
No.
he's been plotting on this property for a long time. He said
What do you mean plotting?
he wanted to buy it when it was first for sale. He couldn't get it, no money. And then when it came back on the market, he said he put it on his vision board. He was on Good Morning America or something. He was saying it. He bought it from Josh Altman from $1 Million Listing.
No.
Yes. And before Josh had it, there was another one, another lady who does nothing but that area. I can't think of her name right now.
Let me
But
see. This is it. He's a plotter. He is.
oh, yes.
He is
Oh, yes.
foul. Look at this house. The
I
second
think
it
side of
was-
the house is glass.
I think the garage holds like 8 cars, I think.
It is dangerous. Okay, because in California it hardly rains, but every time it rains, they have what they call mudslides, where the houses get lower and lower each
Yeah.
year. But you have beautiful views and you're right by the water. Also, when they have storms, these houses are in danger because sometimes the water comes up and it's just a mess. But you know, they
They're on
pay
a
millions
mountain,
to live
though.
in these.
It's
communities.
beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It's insane. I've never seen a
Yeah.
house this beautiful.
And
And I
Kim,
bet you Swiss Beach didn't put one red dime on this house.
All Alicia money.
I think it came furnished too. I think
Oh.
the second owner furnished it. It was a developer that bought it the first time.
Wow, insane. What are your thoughts on oh, I got a long line. Can you guys
Bye.
then hang on, Andrea.
Okay.
I don't want anyone else to call in. I got enough room right now. Let's start taking other calls. What are your thoughts on
North,
yes.
you know what it is? Kim needs to take her phones and tell the nanny not to give her phone. They own the account together, and she keeps on allowing her to keep getting on the phone. She done told her twice now. Or maybe I think this is the third time. She needs to be a mother. Get up out the bed and go take her phone.
Here he is. Okay, you guys, I'm going to drop you guys and
Okay.
bring you back if you have questions for Uncle Ernie. Okay. Sebastian, I'll bring you back. Here you go. I'll leave you up to you. Someone said Alicia Keys will Kevin Federline. Swiss will Kevin. Okay, here we go. Uncle Ernie.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm trying to get there. Where you at?
I'm glad you came on. Okay, so I told you on the phone that Mary is in the news today for not speaking to her mother for 25 years. And she said it's a breath of fresh air and she's not talking to her because she's controlling. That's your sister, right? That she's
Yes.
not talking to. What's going on? What? 25 years? Why aren't they speaking?
Well, it's like this. Mary's a liar. She just spoke to her mother when her father died, and they was talking, and my sister told me,
Whose father
Robin,
died?
Mary's father passed on.
Oh, he died?
And my sister called me and told me that Mary called her up and apologized to her. Said she's sorry.
Oh, did she really?
That's what my sister said, but both of them liars, they might, but I don't think she had no reason to lie about that though. But
do you think she misses the family?
No, I don't think she misses the family. She's just enjoying herself with all that luxury and on TV and trying to be a movie star. I don't see how she can do that though.
I mean, but Ernie, sometimes being on TV and being famous and having money is still a lonely place if you don't have anyone to share it with. And it doesn't seem like her relationship with Robert is that close.
And that's true. That's true.
Do you think she's lonely?
She got enough clothes in there to keep her.
Now, Ernie, you ain't right. She does have a lot of clothes, though. People were calling her a hoarder with so many clothes.
Yeah,
That's
you can
crazy.
tell. You can tell when a person ain't never had anything because once they get a chance to get something, they just grab it and take a run for it. I got this. What do you got? That's the kind of stuff they do. Dealing
Do you
with.
think if Mary called you up and said, I apologize, that it would be okay for you? The healing can begin?
Well, I had to accept the apology if she called me and apologized because, that's the right thing to do. But, it'd be hard. I forgive easy. I don't hold no grudges myself. I'm a Virgo. Virgos don't hold too much grudges. They go on with the life. You apologize to me. Hey, we good friends. Hey, how you doing? Forget it. Go on about your business. But this is kind of hard because it's your mom involved with this situation.
Can you speak up just a little?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said what makes it so bad is my mama. And she's trying to destroy her legacy. Mama wasn't nothing like no kind of cult leader and stuff. People love Mama. They gave Mama the key to Salt Lake City, a black woman, and made a special day on June the 2nd. And then Mama was a cult. They wouldn't have nothing to do with it.
Are people confusing Mary's cult, saying that your mom's church was a cult too?
Yes, that's what they said. But that's what they say. But people say a lot of the things when they don't know what they're talking about.
So,
Mary,
Uncle,
go ahead, Diva.
So Uncle Ernie, did you ever think maybe you should try to call Mary yourself and see if you can maybe mend things with the family and straighten everything out?
But Robert Cosby hated me from the get-go. That's my mother. I only put up with him because I figured he made my mom happy. And so therefore he hated my guts coming and going. because my mama talked to me when I was in Florida with her, and he popped in the door. You know, we're sitting there and watching TV, and he pops in the door and just look. I said, "Hey, come on in." I called him Dad. You know, respect for my mom. You make my mom happy, you made me happy. So, but he hated my guts though. He wanted to be. Mama said he was jealous of me and her relationship, and I was kind of strange. I said, he married to my mom. You know, why does he got to be jealous of her son? That's just the type of man he was, you know. And when Mama passed on, he got on the phone and told me, "It's mine. It's mine. It's all mine."
He said, "What's mine? The money?"
Everything, the whole thing. He was letting me
Ooh.
know that they were gonna put me out. I was the first one they put out,
Mm.
and I was, you know, for him. They was gonna get married, and marry, and he was gonna get married. And I said, "Hey, you know, cool. If we love each other, I'm all for it." But it tore up the church, and my sister got upset because she'd been calling him Dad. And now that's her son-in-law. Come on now. That don't even make sense. And so therefore marriage is scandalous. I don't know how she's getting away with that, but that's all right. Her time is coming. But
Did it break up the family, Ernie, when she started dating her step grandfather?
no, what broke up the family is Rosie took
That's
half.
your sister, right?
Yeah, Rosalind. That's Mary's mother. And so what broke up the church, Rosie didn't like the idea.
Oh my gosh. Did that really just happen?
Oh my God.
He was getting ready to tell
I
us the
know.
story. Hopefully he'll call back.
Yeah. It looked like the screen, it just went black because his name is still there. Oh, okay, it dropped out.
So do you think that this family can reunite? This is some serious hurt and serious pain that we're dealing with here. They're not talking to each other for 25 years. I see how it would hurt me if you married someone that I call uncle and now I don't even know how that works.
It was like his stepdad, right? It was his
He was
stepdad
his
that
stepdad
now,
and then it turned into his nephew.
and
I don't know.
I don't know. It's crazy. So there was no will, Sharrell?
That's what I want him to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about. It's a crazy story about this will. Please call back, Ernie. Please call back. Here he is. Good.
Okay.
Can you
Oh,
see me
thank you.
now? I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear you.
It was a will. Okay.
Please call back.
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see you and hear you.
All right.
Go ahead. Let's talk about the will because everybody's confused about this.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm talking to you. I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you and hear you. Go ahead.
It was a will.
Because everybody's confused about this.
It was a will. And
Well,
let me turn my TV down so I won't be here.
Okay.
It
If there
was
was
a
a
will.
will, how come you and your siblings didn't get any money?
Oh, that's what happened. You know, Mama got up in the church. My
Can you
mother,
speak up just a little bit?
Yeah, Mama got
Okay.
up in the church. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Not too good.
Just speak up just a little.
Okay.
He put himself on mute.
You're on mute. Okay, go ahead.
But anyway, Mama got up in the church and told everybody to get a will. Everybody get a will. So anything that happened to you, you can have that all taken care of. Now it doesn't make sense. Everybody, Mama get up and speak to the people to get a will, and all of a sudden she don't have a will when she died. But the guy who the lawyer who wrote the will up, he passed on. So therefore they couldn't get that evidence back. We went to the court on this. They tried to kick it out of the court. Okay. Then the lawyer we had, Mr. Garrett, took it to the Supreme Court, and they ruled in our favor and told them send it down to the lower court and told us to have a trial. We won the trial with the evidence and everything that we had. I had pictures. I took pictures of a movie camera. I had a movie camera watching this lady sign my mother's name. Then she put that pen down and picked up the other pen. Now I am signing Dad's name, she called it. Everybody call him Dad, Mom, whatever, you know. And so we used that in court. That's what won the case. Okay. The court awarded us in damages $1.2 million. But Rosie, you know, she thought it was all supposed to go to her. But she kind of lost it a little bit. She's not the same woman that she was. I guess none of us, you know. But anyway, Rosie got upset because she wanted it at all, and she wanted to start church, and then she didn't want him marrying Mary. And that's what really caused her to walk out of the church. It was about 253 people that walked out with her, but she only got one person left out of that 253 people that she has. If she got that, you know, she might got 3. But that's what broke them up because.
Well, what happened to your half of the money? So, because it seems like Mary Cosby has way more than $1 million. It seems like she's a multimillionaire. And so your sister gets 1.2 million. And how much did you get?
Well, Rosie did not get $1.2 million. They told me Mama didn't leave me nothing. And I said, if Mama didn't leave me nothing, show me a will. They were saying Mama didn't leave me nothing, but she left the other 3 girls. See, I was doomed anyway. When Mama died, that man was going to get rid of me because that man was jealous and he didn't like me for the simple reason, the relationship that I had with my mom, which was a good one.
Robert Cosby lied and just basically cut you out the will and didn't give you no money by saying there's no will, and then they just gave you what they wanted to give you.
They didn't give me nothing.
Oh, that's right.
What they did,
gave Rosie some money, right?
Well,
but
Rosie took a settlement.
Uncle Ernie, when the court did their judgment, what did the judgment say? Like, it only said that 1.2 million was going to one person. What did it say? What was the judgment?
The state of Dr. Rosemary Reverend Cosby. It was the state. It didn't say nothing about Rosalind. It didn't say nothing about Ernest. It didn't say nothing about Debbie or Pam. That's for my 3 sisters. It just said it was awarded in damages because they forged my mother's name after she was dead. And so that's what it was. They forged Mama's name, and also they did another thing too. They forged it. Well, forgery. We got him on forgery, and they never did pay it. What happened? They put up $100,000 where the court told them to put up $1 million bond because they said they was going to appeal it. And so when they brought the $1 million in, the judge asked, where you get this money? And where they got the money, they sold one of Mama's properties, which was commissary. They sold that for $525,000. So he took that $500 and put it, you know, to the bank. And then Lois, the other lady used to say she owns United Security. She put the other $500. So both of them was found guilty. They supposed to pay $450 a piece because they never did appeal it.
Let's see. Would you take some questions, Uncle Ernie?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So, Uncle Ernie, while we're coming up with questions, how much do you believe the estate was worth? How much money are you talking about should have been shared?
Well, I look at it this way. The mortgage company is $1 billion business. Billion now. And what they offered me $100,000. They called me up at 8 o'clock at night and said, Ernie, yeah, we want to sell with you. Will you take $100,000? I said, oh no, I wasn't selling nothing because I was all about keeping my mother's legacy because I know what mama was all about. She went for no funny stuff and no hoes and all this old whatever you call Mary, what Mary's doing. If that church, everything was lovable. But mama told me when I went out to Florida to see her at her the home that she passed in. And so I stayed out there for 30 days. And she was telling me a thing. She said, well, Lois calls my husband and talked to him for hours and hours. And she said, Bud, you know I don't like surprises. And
let me explain this because I think the audience is confused. You're saying that Mary Cosby got with her now husband, grandfather, and they got together with another woman named Lois Johnson, and they plotted to cut everyone out of the will. That your mom made a will. You seen her. She told you had a will. You had a tape saying that there was a will. And then all of a sudden they're saying there's no will. And then they produced another will, right? That no one ever seen.
Yes, ma'am.
That's some serious plotting. Amuse, did you have a question for Ernie?
Not really. It's fair. Sorry to hear that, really, but it's best you're away from it all, really, because it all sounds like devil work to me.
Oh, she said it sounds like devil's work. Wow.
Well, that's what they are. You're dealing with the devil himself.
Well, it is. Yeah.
Ooh,
so I'm sorry that you have to go.
Yeah,
through that.
Are some bad. These are some bad people, and they will do something to you if you try to interrupt their lifestyle.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Ernie. Do you think it's all coming back on Mary now? She seems lonely. She's it's coming out in the public, what she's doing to her church members, and seems to be karma. Do you think she did a bad thing, her and Robert? But now it seems to be, you know what I'm trying to say, Diva? It's coming back. Sometimes people can suffer in silence and you not know. For her to call her mom after 25 years and apologize, that's some serious guilt weighing on you. And I'm glad that you said if she called you, you would accept her apology, right?
Oh, sure. I had to,
Maybe there can be, sometimes people think money will buy, they make it their number one priority, but it can't buy happiness. It just can't. And even what we see on the TV, her and Robert's relationship look non-existent. It just does. Yeah.
They need to repent.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, they need to go to jail. That's what they need to do. Repenting ain't gonna do no good. With the stuff, the life that they have destroyed, so many people are gone, and so many people have died. And repent. If they oh no, I don't want to get into that because I'm kind of done with organized religion. What these people have done, it's an individual thing with me now. It's just me and God within.
That's the best way.
Amuse, I'm going to bring you back up. I'm going to see if anyone has questions for Uncle Ernie. Okay.
So, thank you,
Uncle Ernie. I think where I'm kind of stuck at is I'm confused about maybe how much money is involved. Like, is it millions?
It's billions.
He's saying that because they owned a mortgage company also. A lot of money.
Saying it's billions.
It's billions. I know that for a fact. United Security is next to Fannie Mae. It's one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest mortgage companies in the United States.
So and Mary's rich. Like it's not she's rich.
Rich, crook, rich. But they got property over in the UK. They got
I heard about the properties everywhere. I heard
in
like
St.
a lot.
Right? Over in St. Petersburg. That's Russia.
Wow. Sebastian, did you have a question for Uncle Ernie?
Yes, I do. I have questions about the will. What do you think the will was a legal will, or do you think it was just a will that was just written, but it has never gotten the stamp of approval?
Is there any possibility, Ernie?
Mama's will was done by a lawyer, and the lawyer he passed on, so they couldn't go into his stuff because it was sealed. And yeah, we had Mama had a will. Mama did stuff the right way. They didn't give her the keys to Salt Lake City just by looking at her and being the only black. We had property all over. And then Mama told everybody in that church, you got to have a will, so anything happened to one of y'all, it won't be nothing happen like a probate like we in. Been in for 26 years.
I'm going to drop you and bring you back, Sebastian. I'm going to see if anyone else has a question, okay?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
So Uncle Ernie, I know you said the lawyer passed away, but wouldn't in these situations and circumstances they be able to look in his files and get that will because of this situation?
Yes, ma'am. But it's like this. They just destroyed the will. Robert Cosby and Lois Johnson got rid of that will. See,
Hi,
it was a will.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Did you have a question for Uncle Ernie?
Yes, I do. Uncle Ernie, we saw it on the Real Housewives where Mary did say that she reached out to her mother, and she said all she wanted was a little money. So I guess I had to give her a little money in order to have happiness with her. And I was like, oh my God, you said it about your mother, give her money and she'll be happy with you. Do you recall her giving her mother any money?
I don't recall that or anything. I know they took a settlement. Somebody took a settlement over there for $2 million. Okay. If they did that, and then they told, they did that behind my back. Then I got the papers. I went down and got the papers from the archives and pulled them in, looked at them, and they put me down. How come Ernest Walton, the judge asked him, how come Mr. Walton didn't receive? This is what they said, because I didn't have a lawyer. I didn't need no lawyer. I'm an ad. And I told my sister, why you get a lawyer for? I mean, think about it. If we had stuck together, all my 3 sisters and me had stuck together instead of fighting amongst each other, we would have put Robert Cosby in his place. But Robert Cosby figured like, Mama was gone, so it was all his. That's what he told me on the phone. It's mine. It's mine. It's all man. He sung it to me. All he needs is some music, and just kept saying it. And so I was kind of puzzled. So they got to get rid of me. I was the first one got kicked out of the church. I've been there all my life, and didn't know nothing else but church. But I know the world a little bit because I've been in the military and swallowed the pill and drunk the water behind it. But I was dead meat.
Yeah. It sounded like they had a plot and it wasn't.
Oh yeah, it's a plot. It's like I wrote the judge, and I've been writing the judge and everything. And so I told the judge it's a conspiracy. It's more than one person involved in this, but it was against me. So you get rid of the stronger vessel, you can control the ladies. They control their minds. Their minds are just like zip. And I talked to my sister the other day. She called me up, Rosalind called me up, and she was talking about, she said, I didn't know this case was still going on. I don't know. Somebody took a settlement. I told Rosie, I said, somebody took a settlement. I didn't get no money. I didn't get a dime. So now she's suing her son, Adrian Jefferson, because she gave him the power of attorney over her estate. So he went and must have did the deal. I can't say because the courts, when I seen it on paper, when the court showed me, they didn't have no price on it and nothing like that. But Adrian told me it was $2 million.
So I guess she did give her mama money, and it went towards, I guess, being power of attorney. Her son got the money.
Well, that's the one he got. That's the crook that got the money. So she had a business down there, Rosie's Tapes and Blooms. So during this virus that came through here, and she was expecting to have money. The government gave them money for their business, small business, whatever. He kept all of that, and plus the $2 million, he kept that. But thing about it, I didn't want to. I didn't want to take no $2 million from them people when they got billions.
That makes sense. And another thing I wanted to ask you, Uncle Ernie, is that she does say in the show now that she has no interest or don't want to be with Robert Sr. And at the beginning of the show, if y'all recall, she said that he's in Florida. He went to Florida when the pandemic hit, and he hadn't been back. So now he's back on the show. So she says it very well on the show that she doesn't, I find no interest in him. I'd rather do without him.
He did
She's
say
trying
that.
to get rid of him,
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about it, she flipped around there because she was already married to Dana. I mean, and everything. So Robert Cosby called himself counseling with Dana. And because people was talking about married. So he stood Dana up in front of the church and get him to say he did not love her and stuff. Like he was crying, carrying on. It broke my heart for the simple reason.
Did they kick Dana? Did they kick Mary's first husband out the church too?
Oh no, they didn't kick him out of the church. He sat there and looked at all this stuff. I talked to him. I said, "Man, don't you know you can sue him? He's supposed to be counseling with your wife. Now he's laying with your wife." See, them guys was messing around down in Florida when they came down there. And that's what Mama felt. See,
that's crazy. Look, Ernie, we're gonna bring you back after they do the Reggie show. Hopefully, that's coming up next week, isn't it? Well, no. Whenever they bring it on, you'll come on and go into deep detail about how the cult members listen and do everything she says, and it drove one of them to suicide.
Oh, and stab himself in the heart. Yeah, you tell him. Yeah, Reggie was my friend. Yeah, he was my friend, and the reason why he stabbed himself in the heart, it was over money. Mary was counseling with the man. And told him he was going to hell.
Let's save the story for when they talk about it on the show. Then you'll come back and fill in the pieces.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Uncle Ernie. We all call you Uncle Ernie. Thank you for filling in the pieces and letting us know what's going on. But I am shocked to hear that Mary did apologize to her mom.
That's what Rosalind told me.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. So that is good. All right. Thank you, Uncle Ernie. I appreciate you calling in. Love you. Thank you.
I love y'all too. God bless. Peace.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Uncle Ernie's the bomb.
Oh, yeah, he is so sweet. I feel sorry for him, all the things that they put him through. Your only son, and you say he don't get anything? That's crazy.
Doesn't it sound like it's getting to Mary? She
it does.
She called and apologized.
It does. She did. And how she's saying now she don't want to be with Robert.
Yeah, she acts like Robert discussed her on the show.
She does. She
does.
Like,
she acts like I am through with him.
She makes a face like, ugh.
Do you really think that she apologized to the mum though? Because the mum could be lying. To be fair.
Say it again, one more time.
Do you really think she apologized to the mum? The mum could be lying.
I mean, I don't see why he had to lie. Because
not him, but the mum could have lied, saying she apologized.
This is
because if the 2 million went to her son, no offense, the mum could be the same as Mary, because it sounds really messed up. I feel sorry for him.
I don't want to.
Mary said she apologized to her mom.
He said she apologized, so I believe. Yep. I mean, I don't know.
He said his sister told him that she apologized, but the sister could be lying. The mom could be lying.
The sister is her mom. The sister is her mom.
She could have lied to him.
Hey, Dennis, how are you?
I'm good. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
It's Dennis McKinney.
That's Mims. Mims, what have you got going on today? What are you doing?
I had questions. So, Sharrell, whenever you interview him again, I definitely have to come up because I had some real questions for him.
What did you want to ask him? Because he'll be back. What are you going to ask him?
Like specific questions about Mama prior to her becoming a pastor, because what it sounds like is Mary has really messed up her legacy. The things that Mary does is now tied in. So this would give him an opportunity to really share with the audience who his mom really was.
I I didn't want him to talk too much today because he's got a mind-boggling story about this church and how she runs it, and it's insane. So I don't want him to talk too much because that's going to be a good day. And he'll take questions, huh?
Yeah. Next time you got to have me on because I watched one of my buddies, Alex Salter. He did like a in-depth expose, and I heard all these recordings of Mary. It was insane. Like
I heard those recordings too. I've actually talked to church members. Mary's not a good person. That's why I was surprised when he said that she apologized to her mother. She's really, really calculated and money hungry. She's money hungry. It's no other way around it. And to the point where she looks like a hoarder. We seen last week's.
Oh my God.
Did she look like a hoarder?
That was crazy.
She's only making changes because of the show. If you noticed, her house was very outdated as well.
But she could afford to update it. What's going on, Mims?
She doesn't think it's wrong.
Those tall chairs. Did you see those tall chairs in the kitchen?
What about the green carpet? That looks like something out of a church in the 80s. You saw the carpet.
Yeah. We're bad. We are bad. The green carpet. You have access to, he said billions, but a lot of money. She's worth a lot of money. I guess money can't buy taste. She needs a decorator.
Right.
That's what she needs.
But yeah, it's really, really crazy. Like one of the recordings actually had her on the pulpit saying that her congregation was poor and they were cheap because they didn't do more tithes. Like what?
No, one of the tapes that I had. So I actually talked to a church member before, ex-cult member. They're calling it a cult. And this person was traumatized, devastated. They cried the whole conversation. They asked me to please get the word out that it really is a cult. And this was before Bravo acknowledged it. This was the season 1. And their life was ruined by Mary. And he's going to share some of those stories with like what happened to some of these church members. And I don't understand. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe I believe, and I don't want to get all spiritual. I believe you pay for the things you do. I think you pay for them in this lifetime. And sometimes people can't see if you're receiving karma or getting payback for what you're doing. And I think that's what she's going through. That marriage that's not a marriage to begin with. Okay? No. She went after him for money. They got together to devise the plan, cut the family out the money. Seems like they gave a nephew $2 million. That's nothing to them. So right there, that's wrong. Well, no. Taking your grandmother's husband while she's still alive. That was the first sin. She was not passed away. And the mom knew and it was devastated about it. And she just did so many bad things. Mary Cosby is a liar and a manipulator. You can't believe anything that she says. And she's got the women on the show convinced that she's a good person. You know, when they tried to say, maybe something wrong with Mary. Here's a purse. Here's some shoes.
Yeah.
I'm really nice.
Well, she told Heather to give it back to her.
Outdated purse. Outdated purse. They said it was outdated.
Exactly. She had
She'll
it in
give
her
the money
closet.
if she has to.
She had it all in her closet.
She looks so frail as well. I mean, she looks like she's dead, really, if you look at her.
She told the housekeeper to keep. If you find anything you want, you can keep it. Like,
the housekeeper is her niece. That she says she
no,
wants
the
to
lady
know
that came in the lady that came in to organize her closets for her.
The closet organizer.
Yeah. This is a sad story. I don't know what to make of it. I don't want to make of it. I don't want to offend the family. I will say they're Corey, you're echoing. I will say they're dysfunctional. I'll use that word. They're dysfunctional.
Yes.
Because of Mary. I mean, they were a family before, but can you imagine the mental anguish you go through if all of a sudden your cousin starts sleeping with grandpa?
Right. Not really. It's like Mary, I mean, to me, like, if you go back and look at the whole thing, Mary give the purses out when she want people to overlook things.
Yeah.
That's how she lived her life, right? Is it an echo from somebody?
Corey.
That's Corey.
She has all those labels and no fashion tape.
I'm going to drop you. Try to fix it.
That's the real problem. all those
But
labels in the world and no fashion taste at all.
At
She-
all. She be wearing the Michael Jackson jackets.
This is what I was saying though before I get the echo though, right? Is this? It's instilled in Mary, okay? Because Mary felt like a saint when she was getting naked, right? For step grandpa, okay? Because if you get money overrides all that. And it means that you was a good girl or whatever. And that's what I think that's going on with Mary. And from my opinion, and from the stories I've heard, she's always been a little wild freak, okay?
So you're saying Mary's a city girl? That's what you're saying. You're saying Mary's a city girl.
Well, a city hooker or whatever you want to call them. I mean, the ones that go out there and just money grab.
Well, how about Robert? I mean,
up.
we have to say he can't be right as well. There's something not
something
right
wrong
about
with
him
too. He ain't right in the head. Hi,
Oh,
Kurt.
no, he ain't right.
Hi,
He ain't
guys.
right. Hey, what's up,
How's
Kurt?
everybody doing?
Did you want to
man.
comment on any other stories today? Because we've had a lot. We've talked about Kim Kardashian's daughter needs to get off of TikTok.
Yeah,
we
she
talked
does.
about Lala and Swiss Beats and
Okay,
Alicia
how you
Keys
get 'em,
getting
how you
karma,
lose 'em.
huh?
How you get them is how you lose them.
Yeah, everybody's saying that. And we're talking about Mary Cosby probably is experiencing anguish right now in her life because she called her mom after 25 years and apologized.
That's beautiful. I think it's time for healing. I think if she is acknowledging whatever she did and called and made an apology, then that's a road towards healing. And if healing is what the next 2022 is going to be for their family, then why not?
If you've seen this woman destroy your family,
did she?
Sleeping with grandpa was difficult for grandma.
I thought so. The grandma did not will it in her will to.
No, that's a lie.
Okay.
She said that they did, Curve. She said that they willed it in the will, but then when pressed on the topic, they both said there was no will. So which one is it?
Right.
Oh,
and then Uncle Ernie made it worse today, saying there was a will. He's seen Mama told him there was a will. He's seen Mama sign the will, and then all of a sudden Robert Cosby said there's no will. And then another will appeared, and it was totally different.
And that will never said
it cut out all of her heirs. It cut out all of her children, and she gave the money to the grandkids and Robert.
Yeah, because to me, the only will that it was the willingness.
Mary's her granddaughter. She gave the money to Mary.
Oh, well, I still like Mary.
But so most likely, if I have a will, my money's going to go to my kids. Not my grandkids.
Well, you know the guy who played in freaking 007? He's a big old star. He just did the most recent 007. And he is not leaving nothing to his kids. He says his kids need to work for it all. And his will is going to leave it to everybody but his kids. Because so there are lots of.
But he didn't give anything to his kids. He did not skip the kids and give it to the grandchildren.
He don't have grandkids yet. He only has these kids right now. So, but there are people
that do that, isn't it?
There are people that do that. And then, I think that the problem with Mary starts for the marrying the grandpa, screwing the grandpa, even if the grandmother never technically laid with him, because he seems really young. He seems closer to Mary's age than to a grandpa age. Like, what's their age difference? Man. What's their age difference?
Would you hook up with Robert Curves?
I can't remember, but maybe 20 years. Maybe 20 years, maybe.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's
you like hook up with Robert.
Was he? So did Robert and Mary's grandma have any kids? That's what I want to know.
No, they did not.
So how
they did the do? They hooked up. Would you sleep with someone that slept with your grandmother? Would you sleep with them?
I personally would not do that. I personally
would you hook up with Robert Cosby? Do you think he's cute?
I personally don't think that Robert's my type. Now, some days light-skinned guys are really fine, and maybe he wasn't back in his prime. But right now,
you're not talking about Robert. Like
Sharrell, drop her in the same show we watching.
Could have been fine in his heyday.
Who?
Robert Sr. could have looked like Shamar. Robert Sr. could have looked like Shamar in his heyday.
Curves is a Mary fan. So Curves is being nice because we've seen Curves. We know that Curves brings the heat. She's being nice because she's a Mary fan.
Mary,
I love Mary.
I knew it. I knew that's what it was.
I love her.
you love Mary? Okay, what
I
are your
love
thoughts on
her.
Uncle Ernie?
I think Uncle Ernie is telling his truth. And I think Mary tells her truth till she gets caught. He's going to tell his truth till he gets caught.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then in the meantime, it's all about the Benjamins. It's not about the Robert Seniors. It's not about the bed and your grandpa. It's not about none of that. Everybody in this family seems to be most upset that they didn't get the Benjamins first.
Okay.
Like,
Let me ask you this. That wouldn't hurt you if someone in your family started dating grandma's
oh
husband?
my God, there would be a court case.
What
How about the legacy? How about the
There'd be
legacy?
a number of court cases for if somebody in my family did that to me personally. There'd
There's
be
no court case.
for
What
the
can you
assault
take
that
him to
followed
court
the
for?
action, and then there'll be this court case.
So we agree to that. That's
yeah, that's
something
foul.
that will
That's foul.
divide a
That's
family, right? Let me see if Corey's ready. Corey, can you hear us now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's way better.
Okay.
We're just talking about this. We're trying to just make it make sense. Sorry,
Okay.
ma'am.
I
can do
Are
that.
we still allowed to say that? Now that
Mary.
that's
I'm like,
the
oh, Mary didn't hear this.
Yeah, I
Because
yeah,
can
I
do
love
that.
Mary.
is Mary as bad as they're making her out to be? She got with the granddad right there. Yeah. Like, no, you're
Okay.
you're causing a
Somebody-
rift in the family. And then the money thing. You're stealing money.
Let me tell you how they did it though.
Go ahead.
This is my theory. The theory was they didn't like the will that was on record.
Right.
The lawyer
That's what he
died.
said.
His papers were sealed. What happened was they paid somebody off in the probate office to get that felonious will in there. And because in the law across the land, if there is no will, the money, the real property, and everything goes to the husband first, then the children.
So is that why they created this new phony will? Because they had to have
Yes.
some kind of will.
Yes.
This is
But-
devious.
Are you
And
insane?
did you hear him?
Somebody was going to have to marry the grandpa. Somebody was going to have to get with Robert. Everybody's just mad that.
Mary married him so she could get next to the money.
So
Yeah,
was
she's-
mother?
Yeah,
Her mother
that's what
willing
she
to do
did.
that?
Yep.
Was her
That-
mother
that-
going
that
to
was what-
have to be willing to
Mary
do that?
pushed mama out the way. She
No.
pushed mama out the way.
She did.
That was one of the questions.
No way.
She
That was
did.
one of the
They
questions
shot
that I
JR.
wanted to ask.
They pushed her out the way.
Yup.
I
Go
wanted
ahead,
to-
Diva. What were you saying?
Well, Mary is dreadful on all accounts, right? You're going to sit there and go with your step granddad, marry him, right? And then you're going to be a participant. Even if let's say I was crazy enough to marry him, I would say give them a little bit of change. If what Uncle Ernie is saying is true, that is billions. I mean, let's not be totally greedy.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw them a little bit of change. Shut up, shut up. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you. And we would still have enough left if what he's saying is true about the billions. I think sometimes in the family, people, they have their own mindset of how much money something is. They think because they see something, it's a whole lot of money involved. But really, unless you're in the midst of it, you know the books, you know the accounting, you can think something's worth a lot of money. But then when all the accounting is said and done, it's not as much money as you thought it was, right?
It's a lot of money, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but I'm wondering exactly how much money it is.
And you were trying to get that out of Uncle Ernie. You kept rewording the question.
Yeah,
I
he wouldn't
see
give it to you. he went off back into his own, little world or whatever, which fine is understandable because he may not really know a true number himself either.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking at some point, if this did go to court, it has to be in the paperwork how much money we're dealing with. Unless again, too, because people will lie and try to hide money and hide stuff. So in the court, it could have said it was only worth maybe 10 million, but really it was worth more than that. I don't know. We never know. But she's still disgraceful for sleeping with her step granddaddy.
Ugh.
You used to
So
call
this
him.
is what
you
I'm
used to
wondering,
call him
Diva.
grandpa, and now you
That's what I'm
sleeping
wondering
down with your
since you
husband.
said that. Was this Mary's brilliant plan? Because she was married. Dana, I don't think you guys realize who he was talking about.
I did.
She was married when she first went after Grandpa. Was she the mastermind of Let's Steal the Money? Or was Robert the mastermind of Let's Steal the Money?
In my opinion, I would say if I had to take an opinion of it, I would think it's Mary's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because girls like that. No offense, ladies.
Oh, Perry, don't go. Not again.
No, I'm only saying, like, they can, smell the weather, right? She knew her grandfather was only there for money, and he was a freak.
Oh, God.
And in order to get this money,
Oh.
she popped up and became this
God.
freak. And this even before.
How would she know
Mother
he's?
had passed.
How would she know that? Like just the family talks at barbecues.
What you mean? I mean, just being around. Like, I mean,
I
people.
sure hope Mama was
People
not
know
talking
this
about her
stuff.
husband
If
being
they
a
at
freak.
church and the step grandfather out there looking at girls walking out with miniskirts on, leaving the church, she know he's a freak, right?
God.
And she was a hustler from alleged.
Do you think Mary is smart enough for that?
Huh?
But
Do y'all
Perry,
think
did
Mary
you-
is smart enough for that?
What, Kurt?
Why
But
does
you know,
everybody think these things
on the
about
show,
it?
Mary said,
Not just like,
Mary-
okay, so
Go ahead.
even if she did fuck her F her grandpa.
Right. Well, they got a kid, so that definitely
Even if
happened.
she did. The point is that they totally had a family. They have a church. She runs a church. And
cult.
out of 1,000 people that have been through her church's doors, there's a handful that are Leah Remini basically and want to make a documentary about how it was a cult and how wrong it was and how they were brainwashed. But then there's still thousands that are still loyal to her. And she has a version, and yes, she's been caught in some lies, but she has a version that nobody wants to, none of what she says is relevant.
Well, let me ask you this, Curves. Do you think people are lying on Mary?
Yeah. I think she has haters in the room.
Me too.
Denise,
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Denise, are you a Mary fan? You're on mute.
I am a Mary fan. I actually do believe because people don't understand exactly where her money comes from or what her church is about. They want to call it a cult. They want to say she's stealing money. But we have to understand that her money has legs. She didn't just come up today and got some money. Even if her and her husband like kicked everybody else out and stole the money, it came from somewhere. Let us not forget that.
From deception.
It came
from deception. The whole basis of why they have money is because they deceive people. So from the onset, her cash flow is because she
Mary
deceive people.
What about
Mary and her husband deceived people? That's what you're saying. We don't know that for sure. Because the way Uncle Ernie came on today, it's like all he was concerned about was the fact that his sister's son took a $2 million, and because he wasn't smart enough to get a settlement, he still has the thing in court.
Denise!
Exactly. That is how I felt. Like, to me, it feels like because it's the new hot thing to rag on Mary, people are just gonna want to listen to the bad thing because it's juicy. Let us think maybe that will he saw his mom signed was never filed in probate court. Who knows? Who knows?
Still, do you think it's fair for your mom to be a millionaire? She passes away and you get nothing, and Mary gets everything, and then the nephew, her brother, gets $2 million. Is that fair?
It's not fair morally, but if it's what is happening legally, what can we do?
That's
you be okay with that?
Some days we wanna yes, it's legal, but other days when it's unfair to us, we throw the legal out the window, and that's not fair. Yes, I really felt that Mary pushed her mama aside and got in with the grandpa first, but at the end of the day, they're not blood. I don't care. A lot of women out there, they grab they grab up murderers, drug dealers, everything, and nobody says anything against them, but they wanna be on Mary's case for marrying a widower who happened to be her dead grandmother's husband. I don't care.
This is basically Woody Allen and Mia Farrow's daughter. How Woody Allen
That's not right either.
That's the same type of like weirdness. He still has a whole life. People still watch his movies. He's still allowed to.
Woody Allen is
That doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right.
Denise,
but it
can I
doesn't
ask you a question?
everything that they do a lie. That's what I'm saying.
But you can tell that Mary pretty much took on the position because she knew she was going to get the money. But on the show, when it first came on, she said she told Robert that she was on her period for about 2 or 3 months before they had sex, because she said, "Ooh, I don't want to be with him."
Let me ask
And
you
in,
this,
and in
Denise.
that case, like some people are saying, like Mary's the mastermind, but in that case, I think it was Robert. I think Robert manipulated her. I really think Robert manipulated that young girl because she was like 21. I don't think a young lady of 21 can come up with a scheme like that on her own, no matter what you want to tell me.
Yes.
Denise,
Okay, think about it. The dad would have known about the will. He would have seen the will. He would have been the only one with the information.
Oh, now Mary's the victim.
Okay, can I ask y'all a question?
We can have different opinions. To me, she's a victim. To you, she's the mastermind. It is what it is.
I get it. But wouldn't the
someone kill him?
step-grandfather would have had the money on his own if he didn't remarry at all? Denise?
Yeah.
I'm just checking for a second. Now I'm just saying, I think, in my opinion, step-grandfather was a freak.
Yeah.
Oh no. Here we go. Perry, use a different word or nobody's going to get your message.
Like a gigolo, right,
everybody
Perry?
understand what a freak is.
I think Perry's trying to say he was like a gigolo, somebody who went after an older woman with money. Right?
I thought you were talking about like Rick James.
No, I feel that as well. I really feel, because I don't think, especially back in the day, why would he be getting married to an older woman when he has, really young, nice Mary there who's closer to him in age? He came in there with a plan. Robert is the mastermind.
It's not even about that, Denise. It's about, I don't do anything to hurt my grandmother.
Exactly.
I'm not cut from that cloth. If I know it's going to hurt
the grandmother is not here to say that Mary hurt her. We can only hear from the bitter side of the family that didn't get the win.
Denise, that's a good point. You're talking about it from a religious aspect, right? If her mama, the grandmother, was a pastor, what pastor would tell her granddaughter to divorce her husband and then marry mine? Like, just from a religious aspect, because
the grandmother said that.
That is what Mary is purporting. She's saying that the grandmother said that she needed to marry Robert Sr. But at the time that the grandmother was still alive, Mary was married. And I believe it was like a year after that they got together and Mary was married. And then that's when the pastor started going up on the pulpit and saying that Mary's husband wanted her to perform unclean sex acts on her. And so they then told the whole congregation that they needed to remove him from the congregation because of that, making a path for him to then marry his granddaughter.
Come on, man. Tell the story now.
Then again, Robert is the mastermind.
Robert did it all.
Sermon.
Dangled the money in front of Mary because she was greedy.
So in the same sermon, nobody said, "Thou shalt not marry your granddaughter."
Exactly.
They were a cult.
Well, half the church did. Half the church did.
And nobody said, "Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's wife."
The church divided. We have to think of it from a religious aspect. When people are preaching to you, that's your faith in God, right? And so sometimes your messages can get misconstrued, and there are some pastors that do wrong. We're just saying that the benefit of the doubt should not be given to Mary nor Robert.
Nor Uncle Ernest.
I need to ask you and Curves a question, Denise.
Okay.
Do y'all don't think that there's not something wrong in this whole entire situation? Aren't your spidey senses tingling about this thing? Because it's tingling about mine.
You talking about tingling? Perry is gonna start talking about
not for me, not yet. These days, the way things are, it takes a lot for me to start to be, I don't want to say judgmental, but cynical about people's movements and actions. My spidey senses was tingling for Jen Shaw when Andy asked her what she did and she couldn't explain. And when I saw her gaudy office, not furniture, like all the sparkles and jewels in her office that were just looking so fake and cheap at the time, I felt like she was putting on.
No,
and then
most of
but
us
my spidey senses for Mary, I think, to me right now, I think it's a whole lot of misunderstanding. To me.
Yeah. Listen, we're sitting up here. We don't understand Curves. We don't understand Denise, but there's a lot of people in the audience that agree with them.
I must be
Yeah.
jaded.
They're my Spidey.
I'm with you, Corey.
Mary, out of all of them, it's not Mary. Mary is like the last person my Spidey senses go up about. On
My
that,
Spidey senses is on the whole cast. All of them.
Yeah.
Some
Pretty
of them are
much.
not right.
Pretty much. It's three of them. It's
Ain't
three of them
none of
that's
them right.
shady right now. It's three of them that's shady right now. But to stick with Mary for 1 minute. So you having disagreement with the ladies. You want to go grab Louis bags, this bag, that shoe, and so forth and so on, because you're manipulating them and you want them to believe what you want them to believe. And you want to distract them by trying to give them an expensive gift so that they can get distracted. And then she's always telling people to like be quiet, listen to her. You know, she has manipulating ways all the time.
Didn't she do that though? Weren't those the prizes?
Hold on, Denise, you're on mute. Denise, we can't hear you.
Weren't those the prizes from the dinner that she was at before, where she blew up with Whitney? That's what she said those were from. She said
from her closet.
For the prize,
they were old shoes from the closet that she didn't
was supposed to
want.
be given out at the dinner. She said Jenny's shoes were just something in the closet that she bought and then ended up giving to her. But she said specifically the purse that was supposed to be a prize from that dinner that went downhill.
Mary looks
I
like
have a
she smells like
question.
mothballs. I wouldn't
Go
want
ahead, go
one of
ahead,
her
Amuse.
old
Go ahead.
purses.
Denise and Curves, how much did Mary pay you to come out and say this today?
Yes, what is the cash app
A
amount?
Louis bag.
I'm looking for my cash app. Let me see.
The Zelle.
You heard that little ding? That means you watch it. She watched it.
From all the billions, I'm putting in a great word for her now. From all the billions.
Did you get a house? Did you get one of the properties?
Listen, do me a favor, Denise and Curves. You guys got to call back in when Uncle Ernie comes back. I'm trying to bring him back the day after the show airs, and I want all three of y'all on the stage. I want you to go toe to toe with Uncle Ernie and ask some serious questions.
Oh, no.
Okay, one question I have for Gray Hair Beaver. Didn't you think that his story was a little bit convoluted and hard to understand?
He was confusing, but I think what happens with Uncle Ernie is of a certain age, and he had a message that he wanted to get out, and that's what he was sticking to. He's sticking to what, not trying to be manipulative, but he's sticking to the pain that's within him. The pain that's within him is that he was supposed to get some of this inheritance. Robert couldn't stand him. And when his mother passed, Robert said, it's all mine. So that's what Ernie.
So that's what he's hurting from, because he felt like Robert grabbed everything for himself.
And he's upset because he feels like Mary is tarnishing his mother's name. Go ahead.
I also feel that he was also a little bit stubborn, because why didn't he think that he needed a lawyer to go to court when everybody else was going to court?
He also trusted the man. He called the man dad. He accepted him in his family.
When everything blew up and they were going to court because somebody sued somebody, somebody else sued somebody, it went to Supreme Court, then it came back down to lower courts. Why didn't he think that he needed a lawyer through all of this?
But you know what? Some things you got to understand, Denise. It's about what the person knows, right?
Well, he answered that question. He said, because he's an heir, why do I need a lawyer? Because he felt that it should just been, part of it should have been his, because he is an heir.
Yeah, he was naive.
Of the will he saw.
He was naive to it, right?
And not only that, he hasn't got the money. They've got the money for all the best lawyers. And it's all in Utah. And you guys were saying the other day they're all crooks out there. So the
that's what they're saying.
Even
guys, I gotta go.
Bye, Denise. Denise. Say hi to Mary for us. Say hi to
Mary. I'm Robert.
Bye, Denise.
No, he's not. No, I don't trust that guy. No.
Can you shoot? Can you two show me your purse, Denise and Curves?
Yeah.
Your purse.
No.
Get up on the cash app.
You guys are gonna be jealous.
Let me see your purse.
You guys are gonna be jealous. Like, what did you get? What did you get? What did you get?
Bye, Denise. Don't forget to call back in on Thursday.
Okay, I'll be around. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, take care. I'm gonna wrap this up here because I do have moderators, and I went over a half hour. It was a good conversation. I like to talk to people that have opposite opinions than me. That's how you learn. That's how you grow.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
sorry I
Noted.
beat you up, Curves. I had to do it.
No worries. No worries. I just want to know, why has the law not found all of these assumptions, all of these allegations? Why has the law in 26 years been unable to prove and hold her accountable for a single allegation made by any of the people that are coming forward?
Well, are you going to call back on Thursday when he comes back?
Because they got paid. They got paid. That's why.
Exactly,
Because
like
they got
Robert
paid.
Girardi.
Are you gonna call back, Curves, for Uncle Ernie's hour?
This Thursday coming? Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
All right. Thank you for calling. I
Okay,
appreciate
take care.
it.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
But you know, Mary, her husband, that old man, he's like,
Not that old
I don't
man.
put all of it on him, but I put a lot of it on him. Because you know
Well,
he
yeah.
dangled some
Well,
money in
and
front of
that's what
Mary because
Robert
she was,
Senior.
yeah, he's
is-
money hungry. She's money hungry too. So
Yeah, exactly. That.
All right. Thank you, Sin, for calling in. I appreciate the call.
I
Take
appreciate
care.
y'all
Bye,
too.
guys.
Bye.
All right, you take care.
Sebastian, we're so sorry we over talked to you. You got to jump in this group.
Okay. So I kind
said
of
okay.
with Denise and Curves said some good things that are reasonable. But I'm still kind of leaning that Mary still runs a cult because
She
a lot
does.
of because the Pentecostal church is pretty cultish.
Oh.
So what other of these churches in well, a lot of these churches are. I still think she runs a cult, but they had great points about saying like, how do we not know Uncle Ernie is just jealous that he didn't get any money from his mother?
Jealousy, legally, that's not even right. Your money's supposed to go to your children.
It could
right?
be. It could be. But
Those
the
are
thing
the husband first.
we need to realize that I looked up the lawsuit that happened because it's actually online. The Mary's mother sued Robert Cosby, just him only, and all of the mortgage companies and security funds and things like that. So like I think that they made the will for just her husband, just Mary's grandmother's husband, and Mary just knew that was going to happen, and she went to go to Robert Cosby. I don't think that they made the will separately where this money goes. I just think that it all went to Robert Cosby, and Mary just schemed her way to Robert Cosby to get what happened.
But what about when Ernie and the siblings all say that their mother told them that she made them separate wills? Are they lying?
I can't say they're lying, but wills can be edited at any time.
Exactly.
As long as the person who's writing it is alive. Wills can be edited at any time.
They could have manipulated her.
What comes out of your mouth? What comes out of your mouth doesn't work. It's what's on pop paper.
Well, we'll have to take this up with Uncle Ernie.
Well, Uncle Ernie said he filmed it. He filmed when the will was signed.
Yeah, but they could have been a codicil to the will as well.
Y'all are crazy. I'm trying to get
well because my mom was a bounty hunter and all that, and we had a lot of lawyers around. There could have been a codicil to the will. They could have manipulated her to rewrite the will as well.
Well, look, I believe Uncle Ernie. He is
I believe it
hard
too.
to articulate his words, but I've known him now for almost a year and a half, and everything he says has come true.
I believe him
more than Mary.
I believe him.
Yeah,
I believe him. And I also talk to these cult members, and you get a different feel when they're crying in front of you, and they're saying, "This happened to me, that happened to me." You guys are just getting bits and pieces, and it's like, and you're supposed to question, why does this, why is that? So you guys keep questioning Uncle Ernie. I know a little bit more of the story, and I've talked to the victims, and she's definitely running a cult. It's a cult.
Sharrell, I think Sharrell, we should send Denise and Curves to the church to join the church.
You know what I should do?
Do 6 months stretch out
bring
there.
one of the victims on.
Yes,
and let them tell their story, and then you guys will have a different opinion. And I think they're going to cover this on the show because they keep talking about someone that took their life because of Mary, and I know who that person is. So it's crazy.
And not only got the $300,000 that what's his name? What was it, Cameron, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, guys, let me wrap this up.
Okay.
I'm just going to say goodbye. Thank you, Dennis. I can't. Thank you, Mims. Thank you, Corey,
Dennis the
and
Menace.
Sebastian. This was a great conversation. We forgot that we were on a time schedule. We just went into a whole nother world, didn't we? Thank you guys for calling in, and he will be back on Thursday, so don't forget to call in on Thursday. Take care, guys. Appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Well, things got heated, didn't it? It got heated.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's a good conversation, though. At the end of the day, you know, Denise and Curves, I laugh at jokes like that.
Dennis. Oh, Denise. Yeah.
Denise. But I do understand it's different sides because everybody can see it a different way.
Yeah.
It's how much of the story that you have heard. And for us, we have heard a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I mean, it's just different
it'll all
opinions.
come out on time.
And that's why I like to hear it because, hey, at the same time, it's all
someone
good.
said interesting. It's really interesting. But at the end of the day, Uncle Ernie is a sweetheart that got screwed.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
And he even said if she apologized tomorrow, I would forgive her.
Yeah.
He did say that. So that
Yeah.
takes a lot. All right, you guys, I'm so sorry. We never had a show go on this long. I really do apologize. I want to thank you for your super chats. You don't have to support the channel and you do. So I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thanks everyone in the chat for all your questions, all the callers. That's what you're supposed to do is question. And I'm even impressed that he will answer. He will take questions.
Yeah.
So it's the whole thing is good. Anyway, let's say bye on 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.